Hey guys, this is our study and welcome to Comic Space, and the air is filled with excitement and joy as we're heading closer and closer to San Diego Comic Con and eagerly waiting for some major announcement as we have yet another major revelation, sort of. I wouldn't say exact in major revolution, but we have yet another major update about Avengers 5. And just recently we did a full breakdown video about Avengers 5 and how things are shaping on that front with the Avengers. So we are back to it again. So as today's update is the most exciting one, but also I'm very kind of skeptical about it. But again, I think all in all it just kind of makes sense if you kind of just piece it together with where Marvel Studios is heading and how can they be shaping up this final puzzle of the multiverse saga. So as our update is coming from Alex Perez, where he has seemingly implied the fact that Marvel could be making an announcement with Avengers 5 being an Avengers vs X-Men film. So he did not actually said clearly that okay, Marvel Studios is going to make an official announcement about Avengers 5 being Avengers vs X-Men. It is not clear, and obviously we have to wait till the official announcement and when Kevin Feige is going to come on stage, and obviously he's going to make clear a lot of things out about a lot of projects and obviously including the Avengers. And again, we have been hitting about the fact that Marvel Studios is potentially looking forward to storylines like Avengers vs X-Men for sure. But when that initial updates came in, we probably thought it has to be in the mutant saga after the multiverse saga is wrapped up and everything is said and done, and then Marvel Studios can explore that kind of setting and themes and storylines. But with the Avengers 5, again, here's the thing, it doesn't necessarily exactly have to be Avengers vs X-Men film, and then moving forward when we are full head into the mutant saga, then we can have a full-fledged storyline. So I think one of the major things moving forward to Secret Wars has to be the ending of Marvels. I think that movie is very important, especially with the post-credit scene where Monica is trapped in the universe which is seemingly inhabited by the X-Men, but it is just not that, but the X-Men from the original trilogy are coming back. That means all of the original actors coming back to their respective roles, and obviously we have Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine and Deadpool and all of the X-Men characters that we are hoping to see in Avengers 5 as well as in Avengers Secret Wars, especially with all of these iconic characters coming back but also with their original actors. So again, I think that's how Marvel Studios is for sure planning to get X-Men into the play of Secret Wars, because obviously Marvel Studios is not going to introduce their own X-Men team in their own 616 main continuity. That is, they're not doing that yet. It is going to be very while before they're said and done with the multiverse stuff. So right now they're using the multiversal aspect to introduce X-Men into the play of Secret Wars. And that's where we come to our point of today, and that is Avengers vs X-Men. And I think we did talk about just a little about this topic and I think it has been a quite while since I posted that video. But again, Avengers vs X-Men, I think the most possible scenario that you can go for it, you're going to have incursion, a final major incursion with our main 616 continuity with the universe that the Monica is trapped in, which is inhabited by the X-Men. So you have these two universes on in collision course, and then we can get in sort of, not even, I don't think so it is going to be a full adaptation of Avengers vs X-Men. If you're talking about comics, it is a very different thing. It is a whole different scenario with all of the different characters, and it is not going to be like, if you were going to see that, it is 100% going to be a very MCU adaptation of that storyline. I'm still kind of skeptical about the whole situation with Avengers vs X-Men. We can for sure have in that kind of a scenario formed in the film, temporary and not being in central point of the film anyhow. But obviously we all have to wait until we see it by our own eyes when Kevin Feige is going to make that presentation. So the last two San Diego Comic Con, and I think every time Marvel Studios have stepped up in the Hall age, they just keep raising the bar with just blowing the roof out of the place every single time with that humongous and that incomprehensible Hall age slate reveal in 2019 with Marvel Studios debut in Disney Plus and all of the Disney Plus series, and then last time when they announced Fantastic Four, both of the Avengers film, and when they announced it, both of the Avengers film were coming in the same year by the gap of 7 months. Obviously the slate, when it's going to be done, it is going to look very different. And matter of fact, when the slate even came out initially, I was like, yeah, I don't see it is gonna go that way. Obviously a major change is gonna happen, and with the nature of Marvel Studios, when with especially nowadays in the Multiverse saga, rewrites, extensive reshoots, and overhaul of the shows. So okay, back onto the point, because I think I just kind of just got sidelined by that topic, because the topic itself can just have its like an own 10 minutes full breakdown video, which is a great idea. So I think we will probably make that one day. So again, coming back to the point with the Avengers versus the X-Men. So I think that is the most possible and the most prominent scenario that you can do that storyline with, or maybe leading up to the battleground where you have this totally new reality made up, and then you can have Avengers versus X-Men going up against. And again, yet again, it is not going to be a full adaptation from the comics, and again, with all of the things going, it is nothing going to be like the comics. So again, recently we have been hearing a lots of news about Avengers, and specifically Avengers 5, because Avengers Secret Wars is still quite far, but Avengers 5 with Marvel Studios wants to start its production by the March of next year, so they for sure want to fast track the progress on Avengers 5, which is basically the foundation for Secret Wars. And again, whatever you say, even though the title doesn't say, Avengers 5 is basically Avengers Secret Wars Part 1. So I think with that, we have been hearing a lot of things with a prominent written of Anthony and Joe Russo, as well as the writers from the Infinity War and Endgame. So I think with all of the chatter that we are hearing with San Diego Comic Con just right around the corner, I think it just makes sense with Marvel Studios would like to make an official announcement with a new and official title for Avengers 5, because again, I believe for a year we have just calling that film Avengers 5, so an official title alongside an announcement for the director and the writer maybe, but an official announcement regarding the director for the film and for the Secret Wars as well. So again, I think Marvel Studios X-Men in the Multiverse saga is a total different thing than X-Men in the MCU. Oh, so again, it can be getting confusing here, but what I'm saying, we are for sure going to be seeing X-Men under the panel of Marvel Studios, but we aren't exactly going to see them in the 616 continuity, where you can have those kind of storylines fully fledged out in feature length films and do those caliber storylines with when you have your own X-Men team build up in your own universe. And that is my point. But again, with the multiverse involved, you don't really have to build the team up. It's already been well established. You already got your actors back to those iconic roles. So just give them their comic accurate suits and let's just get into the Avengers vs X-Men storyline. Okay, we did hear the rumors about Avengers vs X-Men. Marvel Studios is looking as a potential storyline, and I was also surprised that they have been starting to plan out that very early. But again, I think it would make sense if they were just doing it right around the corner and they weren't just planning like 7 or in 8 years after, when Avengers Secret Wars will be comes out, and then they will head into Avengers vs X-Men and that kind of stuff. But there are a lot of things to juggle there, and I haven't got into the point with Kang. What is happening with that guy? How they're going to rote him out of the film and the storyline of the Multiverse saga, if they are? Are they just going to do a simple recast and just go with the ride and just go with the Kang the Conqueror and the Council of Kang and the post-credit scene of QUNTAMMANIA that has been Marvel Studios' biggest boulder in going forward with Kang's story? So all in all, it sounds like I'm really excited for Avengers vs X-Men. If that is happening, and maybe just way too much excited, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just gonna chill out, and on that point I'm going to see you guys off. Well, that's it for this one guys, but before you go, you can consider to grab the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel or DC update. I'm so glad that you guys got the time to hear me out. Thanks for listening to me. This is your host Adi signing off. See you in the next one.